Xi Jinping meets Vietnam's top leaders. They signed 45 cooperation deals, and just hours later, Donald Trump says it's all part of a plan to screw the United States. What's behind this diplomatic drama? Let's break it down. Chinese President Xi Jinping is on a key visit to Southeast Asia. His stops: Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia. The tour is part of Beijing's push to present itself as a stable and reliable partner, especially at a time when US tariffs and trade tensions are unsettling the region. In Vietnam, Xi spent 2 days strengthening ties. On his last day in Hanoi, he laid a red wreath at the mausoleum of revolutionary leader Ho Chi Minh. The message on wreath, and I quote, "Long live Vietnam's great leader, President Ho Chi Minh," with Xi's name inscribed. A day earlier, Xi urged both nations to stand united. He warned against unilateral bullying and called for the protection of global free trade. This message was carried by Chinese state media. He also appealed for stronger efforts to safeguard global supply chains and multilateral trading systems. Just hours after Xi's comments, US President Donald Trump addressed reporters in Washington. He said, and I quote, "I don't blame China, I don't blame Vietnam, I don't. I see they are meeting today, and that's wonderful. That's a lovely meeting, like trying to figure out how do we screw the United States of America." The statement highlights growing tensions as the US intensifies its trade war strategy. Xi's Vietnam trip also had major deliverables. China and Vietnam signed 45 cooperation agreements on Monday. These included deals on supply chain partnership, artificial intelligence, joint maritime patrols, and railway development. Xi met Vietnam's top leader To Lam. He said both countries were standing at the turning point of history and should move forward with joint hands. To Lam later, he said the talks led to many important and comprehensive common perceptions. Xi is also scheduled to launch the Vietnam-China Railway Cooperation. It's part of an $8 billion railway project that will link Vietnam's biggest northern port city to the Chinese border. This project aims to enhance logistics and reduce China's reliance on vulnerable global trade routes. The visit comes just 2 weeks after the US imposed a 46% levy on Vietnamese goods. Vietnam is currently America's biggest export partner in Southeast Asia for early 2025. Though those tariffs have been paused for now, China continues to face massive levies from the US. That's why Xi is doubling down on strengthening regional ties, especially during his first overseas trip this year. In an article published in Vietnam's state-run newspaper, Xi emphasized trade wars and tariff wars help no one. Protectionism leads nowhere. Countries should promote open, cooperative international environments. Both China and Vietnam are ruled by communist parties and share a comprehensive strategic partnership, Vietnam's highest diplomatic ranking. Vietnam continues its bamboo diplomacy, a careful balancing act between the US and China. While it has deep economic ties with China, Hanoi shares Washington's concerns over Beijing's aggressive posture in the South China Sea. Xi reached Malaysia and then will be heading to Cambodia next. China says the tour bears major importance for the broader region. With rising trade friction and geopolitical shifts, Southeast Asia is now the key battleground between US influence and China's growing reach. Stay tuned as the balance of power in the region continues to shift.